This was requested by a very lovely person. I'm going to put the comment up on the screen. This was requested. It has 20-something chapters. This is Best Friend, Kenny McCormick, ex-reader. Well, listener in this case. But, and it is by South Park fan 669. And, we're gonna put that, of course, in the description. Let's start prologue. So did you do it? Baby Stevens asks her best friend, Wendy Tessaberger, while tucking a lock of blonde hair behind her ear. She leans forward towards Wendy in her fluffy pink saucer chair. Wendy, sitting in an identical fluffy purple saucer chair, glances at listener Marsh, her boyfriend's twin sister. She thinks about her next words carefully. She isn't sure how listener will react to the news if she hadn't already heard it. Do what? Listener, being the nosy girl she is, asks, never looking up from the magazine she's looking through with Nicole Daniels. Her and Nicole are lying on their stomachs on Bebe's queen-size bed. A magazine sat between the two. Oh my god! Bebe squeals excitedly. Her arms jolt forward, resting her hands on both of Wendy's shoulders. Wendy finally lost her V-card! Give us the details, girl! Nicole giggles at the expression listener makes. Listener's nose scrunches up and a look of disgust overtakes her face. Oh god, it was bad enough hearing Stan gush out about finally having the courage to do that with you. Do I really have to hear how good in bed he was? Listener and Stan are close, closer than normal siblings. They tell each other everything and anything. Some people find it strange, but with the way their family functions, nothing is too personal or weird to talk about. Wendy sends listener an apologetic smile. I won't go into details, but he was so sweet. He even got me a rose and this promise ring. Wendy holds out her hand, showing off the sparkly ring. Aww! Baby and Nicole coo in unison. The two take turns holding Wendy's hand to inspect the gorgeous ring. It's so pretty! Bebe gushes, feeling slightly jealous. She wished her boyfriend would get her a beautiful promise ring like that too. Stunning, Nicole whispers with a bright smile. Listener lets a small smile crack. Flipping to the next page. I told Stan you'd love it. You picked out this ring? Not entirely. Listener closed the magazine, seeing as Nicole is no longer interested in reading it, and sits up to face Wendy. Stan wanted to make sure he picked the perfect one, so I showed him a few rings I thought you'd like, and he picked from those. Wendy launches herself into listener, giving the haired girl a tight hug. Thanks, listener. Listener pats Wendy's head gently, returning the hug with her other arm. I gotta make sure that dummy takes good care of my future sister-in-law. I just realized something, Bebe states, tapping her index finger to her chin. Wendy and listener pull away from each other, both giving Bebe a curious look. This means that listener is the only one who still has a V-card left in our group. Listener's face turns pink at the accusation. No way. It's true. I lost mine to Clyde, and Nicole lost hers to Token. Red and Heidi already lost theirs too. Wendy grins at listener, teasing her. You know you and Kyle would be super cute together. Not happening. Listener groans. Wendy has been trying to set her up with Kyle for weeks now. OMG, you are totally onto something, Bebe squeals. Nicole's eyes light up, picturing how cute the two would be together. Aw, Kyle is so sweet. And he has a sweet ass, Bebe adds on, giggling. Listener smacks Bebe's shoulder in a playful way. What? He totally does. Oh, wait, I said that the wrong way. Whatever. Don't objectify him, listener states, thinking of all the good qualities of her friend. He's super nice, and he's a good guy. Wendy smirks. Are you sure you don't have a crush on Kyle? Listener's face flushes. I mean, yeah, he's cute, but I wouldn't date him. He's my brother's best friend. You had no issue with Stan dating me, Wendy counters. That's because, well, you guys are just good for each other, listener stammers. Listener and Kyle sitting in a tree. Kissing. Bebe sings off key, gaining giggles from Wendy and Nicole. First comes love, second comes marriage, third comes a baby in the baby carriage. Listener sighed softly. She can't help laughing along with the girls at Bebe's childish actions. No, she won't date Kyle, but the teasing from her friends is only harmless jokes. She decides to let them have their fun. A beep sound comes from Listener's phone, catching all the girls' attention. Listener checks it quickly, seeing a message from her best friend. A bright smile lights up her face as she clicks on his contact messages to read it. Why are you not home? 4:44 p.m. Listener chuckles while responding. Girls, babies, I'll be home in like an hour. Fuck, that's today. Fine, but I'm using your Switch until you get home. Who's texting you? Wendy asks. Listener shakes her head, sending back a simple thumbs up to Kenny's message. It wouldn't be the first or last time he's hung out in her room waiting if she's not home, and vice versa. Ken, guess he's at my house waiting to hang out. He doesn't know it's Girls' Day. 1 day a month isn't too much to ask for. He's basically glued to your hip, Bebe complains. Listener rolls her eyes at Bebe's words. He basically lives at my house, so it's not a big deal. The two of you do spend a lot of time together, Nicole points out. Listener narrows her eyes. What are you implying? Nicole chuckles at Listener. Nothing, I'm just messing with you. Listener hums, not believing her friend. Bebe giggles. Let's talk more about you and Kyle. Time's good. Listener sits on her bed with her back pressed against the wall and legs crossed. Next to her is Kenny, mimicking her position. They both have a Switch Joy-Con in their hands, and they are in an intense match of Mario Kart. True to her word, she came home an hour later to hang out with her best friend. Yes! Listener cheered, throwing her hands up in the air. Her character crossed the finish line first. Kenny fakes an offended gasp as his character crosses the line second. You cheater. Listener laughs at his words. He acts like this every time she wins any game they play together. Unbeknownst to her, Kenny lets her win the majority of the time, just to see her bright, happy smile. Nuh-uh, yeah. A screech of laughter leaves Listener's lips as Kenny tackles her. She lays underneath him, pressing her palms into his chest in an attempt to push him away. Her laughter never ceasing, Kenny chuckles from above her. He is between her legs, one hand pressed to the mattress next to the girl's head, and the other one relentlessly tickling her side. Kenny, no! Listener shouts out over her giggles. Stop, Kenny! Kenny grins at the sound of his name coming out of her lips. He absolutely loves hearing Listener say it. She says it better than anyone else. His hand goes still, but doesn't leave its position at her side. Say you're sorry. For what? Listener gasps out, trying to catch her breath. Kenny begins tickling Listener once again, enjoying the sounds of laughter coming from her. Okay. Listener finds strength to grab Kenny's hand with both of her own, trapping it between her hands. I apologize for you sucking at Mario Kart. You're lucky I love you, Kenny says, flopping next to Listener on the bed. He grabs her waist and tugs her into his hold, wrapping his arms around her tight. Even if you are a dirty cheater. Listener leans into the embrace, her forehead resting against his chest. She feels safe and relaxed. Kenny has always had this soothing effect on her. She loves being in his arms for that reason. Love you too, Ken. And I didn't cheat. Kenny moves his hand to the back of Listener's head, playing with a few strands of her hair. Sure you didn't. Listener let out a small sigh, enjoying the feeling of Kenny's hand playing with her hair. She dreads the idea of her and Kenny getting into a serious relationship one day. Knowing they won't be able to do things like this together when that happens. Every time Kenny gets a girlfriend, he tones down physical contact with her, and Listener hates it, but never says anything, not wanting to get in the way of Kenny's happiness. They're best friends after all, nothing more, so she shouldn't be feeling this way. She shoves those thoughts to the back of her mind, forgetting about them. She closes her eyes and snuggles into him more, rubbing her nose against his chest. Kenny? Yeah? Promise me we'll always be best friends. Kenny gives the girl a funny look, wondering where that came from. He smiles after a moment, even though it breaks his heart. Of course we'll always be friends. Nothing will ever change that. Best friends. Listener corrects, opening one eye to stare at him. Kenny chuckles. Right, best friends. Good. I never want to lose you. You mean too much to me. Kenny's heart speeds up. He just wants to kiss Listener on the lips and tell her how much he loves her as more than a best friend. Instead, he leans down and presses a kiss to her forehead. The only way you'll lose me is if you leave me. Never happening. Good. Kenny smiles, knowing that even if they will never be a couple, he can accept her best friend for life. He can accept being her best friend for life. Oh my gosh, I apparently cannot read today. That's fun. I might read the official first chapter later, because I want to finish reading the Stan one, and that conversation, that whole chapter made me really sad